August 9th. Kenyans went to the polls to elect their president, governors, senators, and members of the National Assembly, women reps, and members of the County Assembly, MCAs. This election had its fair share of good fortunes and losses.
What I can say that devolution has worked. If you realize money which was in Nairobi is now mashinani. I can comfortably say that devolution has worked. Reason being is that now people are accountable. For example, even the government aspect, you have to do something so that at the end of the day, you are accountable to the people. So I can say this one can be seen, even in many towns. Roads have been built, infrastructure has improved, governance has improved. Anything, I think everything is good.
Ndio kuna jimbo ambazo magavana wamejaribu, lakini kila jimbo ina shida zake, na ndio maana tunasema tu ni kuwa watu walikuwa wamechoka kulala kwenye kitanda kimoja. Sasa ni kila mtu amepewa kitanda lake, lakini zile siafu ama zile vitu chafu ambazo tulikuwa nazo pale bado zimesafirishwa kule chini.
The number of elected women governors in the country rose to 7. Susan Kihika elected to represent Nakuru after trouncing the then incumbent Liki Nyanjui. Gladys Wanga taking over as Homa Bay County Governor. Cecil Mbarire elected to serve as Embu Governor, and Wavinya Ndeti taking over from the current Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua as Machakos Governor.
Tulipewa nafasi kama wanawake ndani ya taifa la Kenya na watu walio na uwezo, kama inavyosemekana ya kwamba women rights are human rights, na tulipewa haki sawa katika chama cha UDA. Na leo tunajivunia kutoka katiba ambayo ilikuwa promulgated katika taifa letu la Kenya. Leo katika historia, kwa mara ya kwanza, wanawake 7 katika ngazi ama wadhifa wa ugavana katika taifa letu la Kenya. Wanne wanatoka katika chama cha UDA.
I know today is a celebration day, but for a woman governor, the work begins tomorrow. We will allow you to celebrate today, but work begins tomorrow. For a woman leader, the standards are higher.
The list does not end there. Independent Kawira Mwangaza for Meru County and UDA's Anne Waiguru and Fatuma Chani elected to serve as Kirinyaga and Kwale Counties governors respectively complete the list.
Bado hatujafika, lakini tutashukuru wa Kenya kwa kufanya kazi hiyo ya kuchagua wanawake. Ndio watu wa shukuru kuwa hata wanawake wakipewa nafasi wanaweza fanya ile kazi. Lakini mimi kibinafsi sioni tofauti. Wanawake hao ambao wamechaguliwa wamekuwa wabunge wengi wao. Wavinya Ndeti alikuwa mbunge, Gladys Wanga alikuwa mbunge, Cecil Mbarire alikuwa mbunge, ni Kawira Mwangaza pekee na hata yeye alikuwa mbunge wa kike wa Meru County.
After the swearing in that happened around the same period except for Kakamega and Mombasa, where gubernatorial elections took place at a later date, then came the crafting of the county governments.
That we are one of the few counties to take care of our women. We have 4 women as ministers in Kericho County today, which is a very great development in terms of what I promised in the campaign, that we will have a good number of women in the cabinet, and today we have 4 strong women. We equally have 3 youths in the cabinet, and we also have 3 wases in the government so that they can balance the cabinet.
Kila constituency iwe na waziri moja, isipokuwa Kuresoi South kwenye tuko na deputy governor. Hapo nilikosea wananchi ama sikukosea?
The process has had its fair share of challenges for the county bosses. From court injunctions emanating from cases filed against the lists submitted by the governors to complaints from minority groups feeling left out, it has not been a walk in the park for the county bosses. In Nakuru, for instance, The Employment and Labor Relations Court termed the 10 County Executive Committee member nominees list initially submitted as unconstitutional following a case filed by 2 residents, Dr. Magare Gikenyi and Daniel Kipngetich.
My motivation is just to have a just society, a just and an inclusive society. A just and an inclusive society is a society whereby everybody feels part of that society. But that's one of the reasons. This is not the first case. I've been filing cases from 2017, many public interest cases, so that at the end of the day, it improves even in governance. Even if you file a matter and you don't have to win, a message always sometimes passes.
Magavana wale ambao wamekuja wataki kufuata sheria. Sheria ukiifuata itakumudu, lakini kama uwezi kuifuatilia sheria basi itakukata na upande ule mwingine wa msumeno. Kwa hivyo tunawarai magavana ambao wameingia waiangalie sheria, kwa sababu sheria ipo na matarajio ya wananchi ama wale wafuasi wao pia wapunguze chini, ndio itatatua ile shida.
Justice Helen Wasilwa ruled that the appointment process was skewed, did not reflect the diversity of the county and should not be allowed to proceed.
The court issues an order of judicial review by way of certiorari, quashing the first respondent's press release or any document of the purported nomination, appointment of the interested parties, or any other person nominated without consideration of statutory and constitutional provisions as county executive committee members of Nakuru County government. Number 2, an order of judicial review by way of mandamus compelling the respondents herein to initiate a proper legal process of filling the county executive committee members of Nakuru County government positions as contemplated in the Constitution, the County Government Act, and all enabling provisions of the law. Number 3, an order of judicial review by way of prohibition, prohibiting the respondents and all persons from processing the nominations, appointment of the interested parties, or any other person nominated in contravention of statutory and constitutional excepts as provided under the law.
The governor later submitted a new list with just one name being replaced, something that didn't go down well with the petitioners in the ruled case who rushed to court to submit a contempt of court case against the governor. But even before the case could be submitted, the CEC members had been vetted by the county assembly, their appointment passed, and the 10 sworn in at the county headquarters in an event witnessed by the governor, the Speaker of the County Assembly and the MCAs, all happening in a span of 3 or so hours.
I, Roslyn Wanjiro Mungai, do swear
that I shall diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the said office.
That I shall do justice to all, so help me God.
We've been referring to you as nominees for way too long. Now it is time to get to office and start working. So let me take this opportunity to congratulate all the 10 of you. And I am very, very delighted that finally this day has come, because it has been a bit overwhelming for the last almost 3.5 months, maybe, because we have not been able to move as fast as we would have wanted to.
Hakuna mambo mengi ambayo tunatarajia kutoka kwao. Jambo la kwanza ni kazi, jambo la pili ni kazi, na jambo la tatu ni kazi.
Already the appointment of chief officers to serve on her cabinet is facing a similar case in court, with the petitioners complaining that the list doesn't reflect an ethnic balance in the county of more than 2.1 million people.
This court holds the considered opinion that this petition deserves a full hearing and the appeals raised are not merited and are therefore hereby dismissed. Referring the constitutional and legal issues raised in this petition for determination and or consideration by the county assembly and or indeed any of the respondents, body or entity would amount to this court abdicating its legal and constitutional mandate, duty and obligation. For this reason, the appeals raised by the respondents are hereby dismissed.
When it comes to issues of appointments, the governor is given full authority to appoint and make time for the people whom she wants to work with, depending on capabilities and abilities of the people who are brought and the competencies. So when we sat here as an assembly, we are solely behind her decisions of the appointments that she made, and we will go back and try to follow what the courts have said, but just know that as an assembly we are united.
Ningeomba hata wenye wako na hii makesi waguzwe na Mungu, juu hata wanaweza laaniwa kwa sababu si vema. Mimi ni Mukisi, nimechaguliwa Subukia ambayo Wakikuyu ndio wengi. Kwa hivyo watu hawana haja na makabila, wako na haja na watu wa kufanya kazi.
Kuna watu ambao they are hell-bent to make sure that the governor hafanyi kazi. Na wakati governor hafanyi kazi, hata MCAs hawa kazi imefanya nini? Imekwama. Kwa hivyo tunasema ya kwamba wacha kila mtu afanye ile kazi alichaguliwa. Wewe kama ulichagua mbunge, deal with your CDF. Governor naye wacha deal na CEC wake na COC wake.
In Meru County,
I want to promise to divide the resources of Meru County equally to each and every region of Meru. I also want to promise that immediately after the vetting and assuming of office of great leaders that I'm announcing today, the Operation Okolea Kanaka Meru will resume with immediate effect.
Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza has had it rough leading to her ouster from office. It started with 7 out of 10 nominees to her executive being rejected by the county assembly. The MCAs cited a lack of knowledge of administrative as well as topical and technical issues affecting their departments on the part of nominees, worsening the bad blood between Governor Mwangaza and the MCAs. Reports have it that even before this, the MCAs and the county boss were reading from different scripts and not seeing eye to eye with the appointment of her husband Murega Baichu as Meru Hustlers ambassador, attracting sharp criticism.
Huyo mzito kwa majina Murega Baichu ni first gentleman of Meru County na currently anashikilia Meru Cultural Ambassador by the Ministry of Tourism, ameshikilia hapo, na yeye unapomwona pale ni apostle Vaite Family Fellowship, kitengo kubwa sana. He is the founder of Vaite Television, kitengo mzito sana, na siku ya leo tunampatia kazi ambayo haina malipo na haina marupurupu. Atakuwa akifanya free kama kujitolea, na tumempatia kitengo ya kwamba yeye ni patron Meru Youth Service. Hiyo ni kazi moja, na ingine kitengo ambaye nimempatia kitengo cha maana sana, ambassador Meru Hustlers Ambassador.
Mtu mama ni hypocrite. Juu mtu wa kanisa kazi yake ni kuunganisha watu na kuwaombea na kuelekeza kwa Mungu. Yeye kile anafanya hapa ni kuchochea watu na kuwafiganisha vita wote hapa Meru County.
Katiba sana sana haijazungumza kwa upana majukumu yao. Hakuna kipengee kwenye katiba ambayo inampa bibi ama mume wa gavana nafasi kufanya kazi katika ofisi ya gavana. Tunalilia kila wakati mapendeleo kama ile tunaita kwa kimombo nepotism. Mfano ni hiyo. Si kuwa watu wa wako ambao wangefanya hiyo kazi ambayo anaifanya. Ingawaje makosa hajaifanya, lakini ile hisia ya kijamii. Hamna wengine ambao wangefanya hiyo kazi wako.
The MCAs in the county have gone ahead to impeach Governor Kawira, accusing her of nepotism, illegal appointments, unlawful dismissals, usurpation of constitutional and statutory functions, incitement, bullying, vilification, and misleading campaigns against other leaders.
Honourable members, I wish to declare the High Service and the Governor of Meru, Honourable Bishop Kawira Mwangaza, stand impeached with the Meru County Assembly. Thank you, honourable members.
Continued stay in office under the prevailing toxic environment will inevitably undermine effective and efficient service delivery and thus hurt the interests of the people of the county.
Ombi langu Mungu atujalie na amuguze Mheshimiwa Rais wetu atumike kuleta amani Meru County. Asanteni, Mungu awabariki katika jina la Yesu.
Ile shida kidogo iko Meru. Meru ni county yetu ya maana sana. Na hawa Meru wanatupenda na tunawapenda. Na rais na mimi hatuwezi kubalia Meru kuwe na shida. Tukose kukupata maendeleo.
In Kericho, 8 CEC members appointed by Governor Eric Mutai were sworn in to mark the start of the 5-year term under Governor Dr. Eric Mutai. However, the Kericho County Assembly rejected 2 names of CEC members and the county secretary nominee.
Pursuant to Article 42(2) and 35 of the County Government Act number 17 of 2012, I hereby nominate for appointment also Dr. Wesley K. Ball as the County Secretary and Head of County Public Service from Kamashan in Kipkelion West as the County Secretary.
The vetting committee rejected the names of Dr. Wesley Ball as the County Secretary nominee, Lawrence B. and Bernard B., who had been appointed to head education and trade departments.
People in their own wisdom decided this man may not be qualified. And yes, we accept that in your own wisdom or lack of it, we thought as much. I want to tell those 2 guys, Lawrence and B, that don't go home dejected. You are brilliant men. You are brilliant husbands. And there is always a chance for you to move this county forward. We believe in you and we believe given a chance you can do well.
Newly elected governors appear to face a tougher battle in getting their governments in shape.
Magavana wale ambao wamedumu kwa muhula wa kwanza na wameingia muhula wa pili, kiwango wameweza kudhibiti maeneo yao, na wale ambao wamekuja majuzi wamekuwa na shida pakubwa sana kwa sababu ya kuwa wageni kwenye kazi na pia kuwa na matarajio ambayo wao wenyewe hawakuwa wameidhibiti italindwa ama itazingirwa vipi.
Another challenge governors have had to face, and especially newly elected governors, is the headache of ghost workers. Some of the elected governors have promised to crack the whip while others appear coy over the issue. Just days after taking over office, Kisii Governor Simbarati unearthed 861 ghost workers from the county government in what has turned out to be a multi-billion scandal that ran during the reign of his predecessor James Ongwae. The discovery is part of Arati's purge of corruption, even as he fired warning shots to county workers without papers to prepare for a tough time.
Now, the people that you recruited, here they are. They have never worked. This guy has never worked. You gave letters of employment. Last week, you promoted. Have you been promoted? It's only you are lucky. You have been promoted. You're only lucky that you have not been promoted, though you have not been working. Until last week, when I'm asking party to cancel all employment, new employment, save the new employment. Who you were 2020? Nyinyi mngetaka tufanye nini tafadhali? Hii ugonjwa tutatibu vipi? How do we cure this disease?
Another huge challenge bedeviling devolution is the issue of collection of revenue. There has been a huge push to have counties become self-reliant.
Either they are collected but not remitted, either they are collected or used at the source. And this impacts negatively. Sometimes county governments present huge budgets. This is the equitable share, this is the amount of money they are going to raise on their own. And yet they do not do it. If they do not do it, and they have such a big budget, you end up spending money that you do not have.
The cost of doing business has become so expensive because I have a depot, I'll tell you, my business, in Bungoma, for example. For my truck in Bungoma to deliver to Busia, to Kitale, to Eldo, I have to get a license for distribution in all those 5 counties around there. I have to get a license for branding of that truck in all the 5. I mean, it's crazy.
Issue of wage bill. It is true that some counties have employed in excess, but it is also true that there are counties that inherited a lot of staff from the functions that were devolved. And these counties, we can map them out as those former major municipalities in this country and those major towns in this country.
While some counties have faced it rough balancing the acts to form a working government, for some governors, the sailing has been smooth. Into the year, all eyes are now set on the implementation of the various promises as enshrined in their manifestos.
Kwa kusema kweli, miaka kama 15 yenye tumekuwa na hii devolution, nahisi kwamba imefanya kazi. Kwa sababu reason ya kufanya kazi, ukiangalia kama sehemu hii yetu ya kaunti ya Nakuru, kuna mambo yenye imefanyika yenye tunaona na macho. Ukiangalia, ukienda pale Masinani, unaona kuna hospitali kwa sub county zimetengenezwa na Devolution. Ukikuja mashule, utakuta kuna mashule CBC zimetengenezwa.
Tungeomba watu ya Nakuru, kuna kesi mingi zimepelekwa kotini. Mnachelewesha watu ya Nakuru na gavana wetu Susan Kihika. Tunaomba na tunaombea Susan Kihika, kwa jina la Mwenyezi Mungu, hiyo kesi ziko kotini ziishe kwa jina la Mwenyezi Mungu. Ndipoza gavana asitupe wakati mkubwa wa kuharibu muda wake, ndipoza tuweze kuendelea na weze kufanya kazi. Tungeomba wenye wamepeleka hizo kotini ya CEO na nini zote watuondolee, na kaunti ya Nakuru iweze kuendelea na Kenya iendelee, na Mungu awabariki sana.
If you read section 42 of the County Government Act, it says specifically the former officials will continue working in the new come. So which essentially means the government, well, because if you raise government like not me and you, government is in perpetuity. Even the national government, it will come, another one will come, another one will go. So government is always in perpetuity. So that's what I'm trying to say. So I think my aspect, but even that aspect, even when they always say, just read, when they always say when